This is part 2B of the Upwork sales process to increase conversion rates by 125%. In this video and in this document, we're going to focus on discovery calls. Okay. After watching this, you should have watched previously part 2A, which talks about structure and mentality of the sales process, and part 1, which talks about the setting aspect of the sales process. Okay. If you haven't, check that out first and then jump back into this one. Now, the discovery call is the first call in the sales process. Now, the sales process consists of two different calls, discovery and then the proposal call. Okay. Now, for this first call, for the discovery call, it's extremely important that you take 10 to 20 minutes before the call, okay, to not only gather all the necessary information about the project, about the client, about what they are wanting from you, but to also recenter yourself mentally, breathe, and just come in your best attitude, your best energy, your best shape to the call. Okay, energy matters. I don't know if you know about the 7:38:55 rule. I love this rule and it applies so well to sales. But all of your communication, only 7% of it is really verbal. So what you're saying, right? The words that we're speaking. The nonverbal component of communication of these sales calls, tonality, and just how you present yourself, how the energy that you present the words that you're saying with, the body language, the facial expressions are 38% and 55% of what we communicate. So you see, it's so much more important than the words that you're saying. Okay, so this is what you need to do before the call. Like I said, review the prospect's booking form if there is a booking form on Calendly or anything like that. If not, just any information that you have on the lead, on the project, on what they want, on the problem that they're having. Read through it, get acquainted with it, know what's happening. Then you want to calibrate your breathing. Easiest way to do this, just 10 deep breaths in and out, in through nose, out through stomach, very easy. And then one thing that I like to say is be the tide, not the current. Now, what does this mean? That you're in control of this call and how everything is going to play out, right? You might have had a bad day. You might have had another sales call that went bad. You might have had some stressful event in the last 24 hours that has you a bit off balance, right? That doesn't mean you need to drag this onto this call. It's a completely new call. This person does not know about anything that's going on. You can make the best out of it or the worst out of it. Completely depends on you, okay? Now, the second part of this is make sure you're leading the call, right? You're the expert. You've done these sales calls a million times. You've sold this service, right, or this product, whatever you're doing for them as a developer. You've done this a million times. They haven't, right? This is their first sales call or one of their first sales calls with the developer, right? So you're the expert. Lead the call, lead the conversation, okay? And then finally, just obvious one, make sure your audio is working well, your video is working well, and that you have a stable Wi-Fi connection, okay? Now, once you're on the call, keep it light at the beginning, right? You want to start with a joke, a comment, ask them where they're located, how the weather is there, just anything to sort of break the ice. Don't overthink this, don't overcomplicate it. You don't have to write jokes before going on the call and just saying one. Just improvise on the spot. What you're trying to do is just trying to find some common ground between you and the client, the project, to build a relationship, right? It humanizes things. Don't force it. Just let it flow. If nothing comes to mind, just move on. There's no need to force breaking the ice, to force building a relationship, okay? You're just trying to connect with somebody. It's a social situation. Now, after this initial icebreaker, get to business. No need to drag it on for 15 minutes, okay? Just a few minutes to get to know each other, and that's it. Don't take too long, okay? And you're just going to say this exact paragraph right here. You can rephrase it a bit. So on this call, I'm going to ask you a few questions to get a better idea of you, your business, your situation, and understand if and how I can help you. So that's really the purpose of this discovery call. And if we're a good fit, then we can talk more in detail about what that solution would look like, how I can exactly help you, what working together would look like. Does that sound good? Just with that, right? It sounds supernatural. You are giving a direction, an objective to the call. And then you can go straight into asking them questions, right? When you're asking them questions, these are the main points that you're going to want to circle around. So the exact questions you ask will change from client to client, from lead to lead, from call to call, but they should be first centered around these topics. So try to understand why they booked the call. So why did you book this call? What problem are you having? What are you trying to get out of this? How can I help you? Pretty much what they're looking for, right? After this, you're going to want to understand if they really know what their problem is, how to solve it, what they need. right? So the way to get this is how long has this problem existed? How long have they been looking for a solution? How much money have they put into this? Or how much money are they looking to put into this? How much impact does it have on their business? Or is this going to really impact them? It's really valuable to them, or it's just something they want to try out? Have they tried any other developers, any other solutions? Just trying to understand the whole scope of the problem that they're encountering and what they've done, getting as much context as possible, right? Another useful thing that I've seen is trying to understand how much technical ability or ability they have and knowledge on the technical process, right? Um, so let's say you're going to build a website for them. Do they know how setting up domains works, servers? Do they know what goes into the building the website, putting together UX, UI design? Um, you know, maybe optimizing for a certain CTA on the site. Do they know that, or do they think a website's just give me a website, 2 hours of work, right? It's important to know this. And the last thing that you're going to want to do is just once you get all the information from them on what they want to build and how they want to build it, just give them the technical breakdown. Okay, you're going to need to set this up and that up, and I'm going to do this with this architecture, with this infrastructure, right? Now you want to do this because one, it's going to show that you understood their project, you understood their problem entirely. They're going to get a good impression from that. But you're also going to show your expertise, how you're good on a technical level, and you can be a potentially really great fit for them to hire to work on this project for them. Okay. So yeah, by the end of the call, they're going to clearly see that you're a good fit and that you can clearly help them. And if you agree with that, if you think that you want to work with this person, you want to work with this client, you can definitely help them and provide value, and you have enough information. Um, what you're going to do is simply let them know that you're going to prepare a proposal for them, okay, with all this information written, um, and that you want to schedule a call to go over this proposal with them, okay? Now, when scheduling this call, you don't want to give them your Calendly and just hope they book it, right? Or hope they tell you, yeah, let's do this time. No, no, no. You want to give them 1 or 2 times that you're available in the next few days. Tomorrow, what times are you available tomorrow? Okay, just tell them I'm available at 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Okay, so within the next few days, ideally the next day. Okay, don't give them what you don't want to do is don't give them a calendar. Don't give them a ton of dates that you're available. You need to portray that you are busy, and you need to portray that we want to get this done ASAP. You don't want to schedule a call with them. Let's schedule a call next Friday. No, 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 immediately, as soon as possible, right? So that's very, very important. Now, once you've scheduled the call, okay, 1 p.m. tomorrow, perfect. Mention that you have a few more questions, okay? And the reason we want to ask a few more questions is to make sure we handle all the objections, as many as possible, before we actually get on the proposal call. So on the proposal call, we can simply close, right? There's no information that we're missing, right? So you want to confirm with them that if the next time you guys chat, which will be on the proposal call, you show them all the information, the prices, the timelines, and just the strategy or whatever you're going to build for them, and everything makes sense to them. How soon are they looking to start, right? And how soon are they looking to finish? The reason we ask this is because we don't want to put so much effort into a client, into building a proposal with somebody that only wants to start 6 months from now, right? We don't know what's going to happen 6 months from now. Maybe they don't want to build it anymore. Um, and then how soon they're looking to finish, because we need to know what the deadline is, right? Because if they're looking to finish in 3 weeks, then we probably want to keep our proposal under 3 weeks. We don't want to put 2 months. They're going to say, oh, that takes too long. I'm not going to work with you, right? So we want to know what their estimate deadline is. Secondly, we have to ask them if they're the sole decision maker in the process or they need to consult with team members, okay? We don't want to get on a call with somebody that's not going to make a decision, right? We don't want to explain the whole proposal, the whole project, all of our services, how we're going to build it with somebody that can't say yes or no, somebody that doesn't make the decision. We want everybody that makes a decision on the call so you can explain everything to them and fight any objections if they have any. Okay? And then finally, we want to ask them that if everything makes sense, they see a clear path to achieve their goal, to solve their problem, to really find a solution after the proposal call, if it's going to make sense for them to invest X amount. Okay, and that X amount, you could substitute it for whatever you think the project is going to cost. So if I think the project is going to cost $5,000, I'm going to say, okay, so let's assume that on the proposal call, we go through everything, all the milestones, all the deliverables, everything that we're going to build. Everything makes sense to you. You like what you're seeing. You see that you can definitely solve your problem with me. The service is of high quality. Do you think it's going to make sense for you to invest anywhere between $4,000 to $6,000 in getting this done? So it's a non-aggressive way to see where they're at with pricing. Okay. If you don't want to ask them if they're comfortable with a certain dollar amount, like I just did, you can give them a range, okay, or you can simply ask them, right? So what range are you comfortable with, or what's your estimated budget allocated for this project, right? How high can you go? How low do you want to go, right? Just so you have that in mind, because if your budget is 10,000 for this project, but they only want to pay 2,000, there's too much distance. There's no negotiation there. You're never going to find a solution, so you don't want to waste your time. But if there is an estimate budget that's close, then you want to adjust maybe your budget to meet them in the middle or to find a way to work together. Okay. Now, just because the call finished, okay, you asked all your questions, you scheduled the proposal call, it's good to go. You're going to talk to them tomorrow or the day after. That doesn't mean your job is done. Okay. The moment after the call sometimes has a greater impact than the actual call. Okay. You're not in a meeting, so you don't have their attention, right? They could be talking to other freelancers, other developers. They could be thinking about other problems that they have or other work that they have, right? And you don't want their buying intention to go away or them to forget about your project or just go cold, right? So follow up with a summary of all the points discussed, the plan to proceed, right? Okay, we're gonna go on a proposal call. I'm gonna put all the case studies together, milestones, prices, timelines. Okay, and if you can give them any sort of value, oh yeah, and I remember we talked on the call that you wanted to add this feature as well, but you're not sure, and then you can just tell them, hey, I found this other project that added the feature and they were super successful. Anything that's useful to them, case study, reference, similar projects, educational resources, anything, attach it as well. Anything you can think of. This is just to grow rapport, so you have a better reputation. They see you as a super professional person, and for them to see you as an expert in a topic, you're going to be the best freelance developer to build this for them. Okay. Now this finishes off part 2B, which is a discovery call. Now there's a last part, which is part 2C, which is the proposal call. Okay, so make sure to watch that right after this. Check that out, and then you will finally finish the upper sales process.